Dramatic battlefield footage circulating widely online reveals a Ukrainian sniper attached to the renowned Azov formation engaged and killed several Russian combatants who were conducting reconnaissance and strike runs on motorcycles. In recent social media posts and compelling short video clips shared widely within pro-Ukrainian channels and military analysis forums, a sniper identified only as belonging to the Azov formation is shown, according to detailed captions and expert commentary, taking remarkably precise shots at a group of Russian soldiers traveling singly and in pairs on motorcycles across contested terrain. The footage and accompanying posts assert the skilled shooter methodically engaged the riders one by one as they approached or withdrew along a rural road, systematically disabling and killing multiple combatants in what represents a textbook example of defensive sniper operations. The Azov unit originated as a volunteer militia early in the 2014 conflict and was later incorporated into Ukrainian National Guard structures, transforming from an irregular force into a professional military unit. It has been a prominent and controversial actor, praised enthusiastically by many Ukrainians for its documented battlefield performance, while simultaneously criticized internationally because of extremist elements among early volunteers. Since 2014, Azov has consistently served in conventional defensive and offensive roles alongside other Ukrainian forces, participating in some of the conflict's most intense engagements. Hunted relentlessly by drones, stalked by snipers, and surrounded by extensive minefields, soldiers fighting in Ukraine can't risk even a small lapse in concentration. The modern battlefield has become an unforgiving environment where technology meets traditional combat. For 4 exhausting months, Russian troops have been persistently trying to seize the eastern Ukrainian village of Synkivka. On a map, this looks deceptively easy. Their forward position is on the edge of a forest. It is a mere 500 meters away from the Ukrainian front line and a shattered collection of cottages. Every few days, the Russians attack with remarkable determination. Their forays across open ground end in the same predictable way. Complete disaster. Armored vehicles with men perched precariously on top speed across a landscape of moon-like craters and splintered trees. Soon, it goes catastrophically wrong. Some blow up violently on mines, others panic and reverse frantically. The Ukrainians pick off fleeing infantry with precision drones and artillery. Typically, all the Russians die in these failed assaults. It's really fucked up down there, Gleb Molchanov, an experienced Ukrainian drone operator, said, showing disturbing video he took from above the battlefield 4 miles northeast of the city of Kupiansk. The images are genuinely gruesome. Bodies can be seen lying in a zigzag trench and frozen hollows. Nearby are the burnt-out carcasses of BMP-1 fighting vehicles, at least 10 of them, silent testaments to failed attacks. Despite this devastating carnage, the Russians keep trying with almost mechanical persistence. Almost 2 years after Vladimir Putin's all-out invasion, Ukraine has abandoned its offensive operations. Instead, it is employing a strategy of active defense, skillfully keeping the Russians back and waging the occasional calculated counterpunch when opportunities arise. Moscow, meanwhile, remains determined to go forward. It has mobilized tens of thousands of troops in the Kupiansk area. Many are former prisoners, controversially recruited directly from jail and serving in the notorious Storms units. The Kremlin has 2 immediate and pressing goals. One is to take back Kupiansk, the gateway to Ukraine's second city, Kharkiv. Another is to capture the salient town of Avdiivka, not far from the occupied regional capital of Donetsk. So far, Moscow has been unable to achieve either military objective. In the grueling process, it has lost spectacular numbers of troops, tanks, and equipment. The difficulties experienced by Russia in Synkivka point to a wider problem facing both armies. It's a war of armor against projectiles. At the moment, projectiles are winning, Molchanov said insightfully. The Russians had some tactical success, flushing out Ukrainian soldiers from the forest and a few villages. But a significant breakthrough was almost impossible, he said, in an era of cheap and lethally accurate drones that have transformed warfare. The result of Ukraine and Russia's extensive use of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, is a kind of warfare that makes traditional NATO doctrine pretty much obsolete. Molchanov said. First-person view kamikaze drones cost $400, 3 to 15 each. They are bought from the online Chinese marketplace Alibaba, he explained, demonstrating how commercial technology has been weaponized with devastating effectiveness. Nobody really knows how to advance right now. Everything gets smashed up by drones and artillery, he said, describing the tactical paralysis both sides face on this evolving battlefield. Kupiansk was captured by Russia on day 3 of the invasion, but lost 7 months later during Ukraine's successful counteroffensive. Putin has reportedly ordered his generals to seize back by the Spring territory along the east bank of the Oskil River, on which the key railway city sits. That includes Synkivka, a one-time peaceful hamlet of 3 roads and a clubhouse, as well as the neighboring villages of Petropavlivka and Kucherivka. From his windowless basement office, Mayor Besedin pointed out that previous Russian deadlines to take Ukrainian territory had repeatedly come and gone, unfulfilled. Moscow's meat grinder tactics were proving ineffective, he said, adding, "They don't care about human life, including their own people, or us. What happens next depends critically on whether Kiev gets more weapons from the civilized world," Besedin said. Earnestly, "We have enough to defend, maybe, but it isn't enough to beat the enemy." He said arguments in Washington, where Republicans in Congress have blocked $61 billion in security assistance to Kiev, had a huge and directly observable effect on Kupiansk and the fate of the 3,500 people who remain there. With its troops stuck, a vengeful Russia systematically pulverizes the city. Last year, it destroyed Kupiansk's museum, killing its director, and the apricot-painted Palace of Culture. It bombed the hospital, polyclinic, and Hilltop Administration building. The market, meat processing factory, and Universal Fish Company have been hit too in what appears to be systematic targeting. The latest civilian victim, 53-year-old Olena Lashkova, died in a strike on Thursday at her home in Kupiansk, Vuslovi. Besedin said Kupiansk was once a sweet place with factories, jobs, and schools. In summer, couples strolled in its landscape park while children swam in the river and played under willows. A peaceful scene now shattered. He said his predecessor as mayor had given up the city without a fight and then vanished, presumably to Russia. Asked whether Kupiansk had a future, Besedin answered with determination, "Yes, we can help when the Donetsk and Luhansk regions are liberated." Despite Moscow's relentless onslaught, Besedin said some local residents refuse to leave. "We ask them every day. We have a hotline, but it depends on them," he said, respecting their choice while clearly frustrated by the danger they face. In September and January, the authorities carried out a forced evacuation of parents with children from under-fire villages, prioritizing the most vulnerable. There are no civilians left in Sinkivka, but a few inhabitants, most of them elderly, cling on to their homes in nearby settlements, defiantly resisting S-300 missiles and aviation bombs. Many become casualties of this stubbornness. Inna Diakiv, a neurosurgeon at Kharkiv's regional hospital, said patients from Kupiansk and the surrounding district told her they wanted to be self-reliant. They say they are guarding their properties or are unable to leave because of pets. A tiny number are waiting for the Russians to come back, Diakiv believed. They don't say this openly. You can guess. Russia is why they got shrapnel wounds. It's crazy, she said, shaking her head. Predictions that Russia would launch a massive offensive in early January against Kupiansk turned out to be wrong. The governor of the Kharkiv region, Oleh Syniehubov, said the enemy was regrouping and reassessing. Last week, Russian forces had launched 2 to 5 attacks a day, compared with 15 to 20 over New Year when they attempted to exploit holiday timing. They had not assembled a strike group in the area, and harsh winter conditions were making operations difficult. Molchanov said Moscow had yet to come up with a plan that would allow it to breach Ukraine's defensive line. "We are in a kind of technological stalemate right now," said the drone operator, analyzing the situation. Asked whether the Russians could break through, he replied thoughtfully, "The game is with them. They decide where and when to attack. But I don't think they can get Kupiansk. Neither side can win without a trick or innovation that changes everything."